Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you. And we are happy that you guys are in the ring this evening. Whether you're joining us on Twitter, you're joining us on Facebook, you're joining us on YouTube, thanks for being in the ring. You can't style us. We on early, folks. Well, y'all gonna say y'all gonna fret with us because we on too early? Huh? We on at just the right time. You can't track us, you know. You can't track us. Right? And when we pass, we rub out your footprints so y'all can't trace. Right? And we break up the mold. You can't track and you can't trace us. Good to have each and every one of you in the ring. You early birds. Good to have the early birds with us this evening. I see Ganesh is in the ring. Ganesh, good to see you there, my brother, member of parliament there, and Robert Noreen and Pollyann Schultz and Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, all the usual suspects, all the junkies. It's only junkies is this standing by this early, you know. That is what I want you all to know. It's only junkies and the trenches and the Nakavakamites and the Jebusites, or as Ganesh should say, the Kavakamites, the Nakavakamites. Good to have so many of you. Those watching from Florida and elsewhere. I missed the name there. Roxanne Odessa and Elizabeth Williams, Deborah, Sharona Lynch. Good to see all of you. Amanda Hope, we need you. Joanna, give us hope. We need all of you. I see my colleague there, Yvonne, joining us on Twitter. Good night, Yvonne. Good night, Yvonne. Ever so often, Yvonne must give us a shout out from Twitter. We love to hear from our Twitter folks. We love to hear from our Twitter folks, and we consider Twitter the Bel Air, the Bel Air folks. And then we got the suburbs, YouTube, and then we got God is the ghetto, Facebook, folks. As you come on, you know the routine is to share the live stream. Tag a frenemy. We are ready to go, and you know you come on. We must get some things. We must get something special for the early for the early birds. We must get something a little special. So again, we are very, very happy to see all of you guys joining us wherever you are joining us from this evening, folks. Plenty thing in this country and regular. plenty things, not regular people. Plenty things. Plenty things. Too many things. Not regular. Folks, I'm waiting on you, you know. We are ready to go. I am waiting on you. Y'all say, come on early. Say, y'all know you're ready. Ready to go, folks. Waiting for us to reach that magic number. Good to see somebody's joining us from the suburbs. Social media suburbs. Yes, Audrey Cumberbatch. Good to see you, Audrey, and Christina, Tom Peters, Desiree Simon, Liverpool, and Lily McGarrell, Derek Smith, and Orwin Don Cook, all the usual suspects. Good to have so many of you in the ring already, and we didn't even reach 8 o'clock yet. Yeah, we're right on the, according to my clock. What a clock, according to my clock. A friend of mine once told me he had a friend had a watch so big. He says, that's not watch, that's a clock. So you don't ask him what's the time. You say, what a clock. What a clock. So we're right on that time there, folks. Lined up Peter Graham and Jacqueline and Sharon Mercurius, Andrew Cuthbert and Julia Wickham, Mark Allman, Fat Girl, Hendy. I got to see a photograph. Send a photograph to man. 627-6963. Yes. Send a WhatsApp. Shamar Williams, good to see you there. Lily McGarrell and Andre P2107 joining us from the suburbs. Andre P2107. I think I find Andre. Like I find Andre. Andre, when the calls open, you come through, my brother. I got a couple questions to ask you. It looks like we find Andre. It looks so. Charlene Jordan and Elaine Jacobs. Good to have each and every one of you. My Andre turn up. I got to find if it's the right Andre. Joy Fraser and all the other folks joining us across social media. Home here in Guyana, in the diaspora, whether that's the Caribbean for you, it's the USA or further afield, Suriname, Canada, Trinidad and Tobago, wherever it is. Good to see each and every one of you. Good to see each and every one of you. Kim Walker and Karen Black, Raphael Jr., official. I know official is not your surname. What's your surname, Raphael? Precious Mineral. I know Precious Mineral is that your surname. Precious Mineral, send me a photograph. 67102 671 627 6963. Marsha Glass, we're good to see you. Roxanne Sinclair. Candace Norine is up in the house. Melissa Barnwell, Tappin, Bradford. I certainly learned to spell all them names when he was about 18. Winston Smith. Smith is implicated in a story I'm going to talk about this evening. One of his Winston family. Esther Blue, Veronica Primo Rollins, and Cheryl Lawrence, and Siobhan Fraser. Good to see each and every one of you here with us, guys, in the ring, and you're ready to fight, guys. I'm ready to get through the hot topics. I am so ready to get through the hot topics this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And just because Jean Bond present, and Laverne Fraser, and Patricia Shanti, Candy Blair, and Morton Class, you guys have been early. I'm gonna give you something extra special, guys. This is Guyana. You'll remember we always say that is the caveat. This is Guyana, right? That is the exemption clause. Attorney at Law Darren Wade is going to be joining us. We know we got some serious things happening with tenants and landlords, and he's going to be giving us a little guidance on that issue there concerning, the rights of tenants and the rights of landlords. I want to make sure that you guys educated, more educated than the trenches. We know that they don't read nothing and they don't listen. They do not listen to internalize to benefit them or to benefit themselves. They listen to respond. And I want you guys to be bright and sharp. So, guys, we always say, this is Guyana. Folks, this is Guyana, right? And the video I'm about to show you guys don't have don't have song. So don't think you're missing anything, right? Because you're not hearing any song. Let me warn you, it doesn't have any song. But guys, you got to frightened to stand up outside your house too long in this country under the PPP, because they will come and fetch you away, right? You got to be afraid to stand up outside your house too long, because they would come and fetch you away. Take a look at this. Take a look at this, guys. Folks, the install administration will tell you, that is not thief. His courts come back for the carpet. The person missed a couple payments and courts returned for their carpet. It's not thief. Right? But I tell you all, it's thief. And that is how things getting tough in this country and tight. A all used carpet outside. And them men gone with it. So I'm telling you all, if you stand up outside your house too long in this country, Sandra Christie and Shamar Williams and Nicole Brandis Higgins, Gloria Chester, Brenda Braffett and Joy and Robin Narain and all of you guys, Althea Lord and Mick John, if you all stand up outside too long, they go with y'all. Can't eat your dinner. Now, again, as we start the program, I invite you guys to share the live stream. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds. Each and every one of you, I want to share the live stream. Pocketori, folks. Pocketori. Share the live stream, Raul and Marsha and Renee and Rowena, Marcia and Karen, Brian Small, Amber Tone, Ton, Rhonda and Martins. Share the live stream, guys. Good to have all of you in the house. Good to have all of you ringside. Let me make sure I pull my notes closer. I am ready to go. I don't know about y'all. All right, let me get one other thing in order before I start moving. Guys, good to have all of you. Trust you guys have had a good day. Trust that you guys have had a good day. And again, we only want credible comments. Credible comments and valid viewers. That is all we want this evening. Credible comments and valid viewers. Give me 1 second, folks, and then we'll get right to it. Credible comments and valid viewers. That's how we want. Nothing less. Nothing less. Credible comments and valid viewers. Share the live stream. Guys, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Pocketori. And you all know this. Every goddamn day you wake up in this country is something. It is something. You could be going about your business peacefully and calm. And because of the dark cloud that the PPP has brought with them and their installed regime since August 2nd, 2020, every day is something, right? And when you look at some events, ladies and gentlemen, you know distinctly, this ain't natural. This ain't normal. When you look at some of the things that are happening out there, that's the sense you get. So look, in the last 2 days, for instance, 2 planes ran off the runway or crashed, right? One yesterday and one today. Guys, that is natural? That is not natural. That is pocketori. It is not natural. Let me tell you what went down besides the planes. The information that we have says that the propeller of a single-engine Cessna plane on Wednesday, disintegrated. Right? It didn't stick. It didn't stop work. Disintegrated. Could you imagine if that was in the air? Disintegrated on takeoff at Camarang airstrip. That is how pocketori looks. Disintegrated. Right? Upon takeoff at Camarang airstrip, folks. And then we had one the day before at Itteringban. This belonged to BK Aviation, and the first one belonged to a gentleman called Orlando Charles, Domestic Airways, whoever he be or it is. But this second one at Itteringban, day before yesterday, right, just ran off the airstrip. And they say that the wing was hit and the fuselage was bent. And so this is probably written off by now. 2 aircrafts in the span of 2 days, not 2 weeks, not 2 years. Folks, if that is not pocketori, right? If that is not pocketori to some of you, I don't know how to help y'all. I don't know how to help y'all. It's pocketori. In addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, I was sharing this with y'all last night. The government seemed to got something against Lycan now. They're frightened to death. They have instructed the police force to stop using Lycan. Some of them dead but ashamed to close the eye. That's the problem here. They're dead, but they're ashamed to close the eye. There's some long-standing relationship between Lycan and the police force, right? Some long-standing relationship. Suddenly, the government say, yeah, stop using them people. You know, folks, there's an anecdote that is told that somebody was told that they're going to die by a horse. So they ain't going outside. They ain't going outside. Whole day, whole week, they're home. They ain't stepping out. Walking from one room to the next, they trip over the clothes, horse fall and break the neck. That's what happened to the government. It's dead, the government frightened. Right? And you know what? Some of them can dare and never right by liking. Some of them will die. Some of them will die and end up right by liking. So now they're fighting liking. They said, don't carry no dead. Police force, don't carry no dead by liking. I know what I got with it. What I got suddenly against liking and dead. They're frightened there. Right? And you know, once we start talking about the government, who we talking about? We talking about the crosses. We talking about the crosses. So I die there. Next thing you know, I hear somebody say Leslie on me case. I said, Leslie on me case? All you style Leslie? Here Leslie saying, Duncan must apologize or resign. Resign from in the ring, I don't know. Resign. Or be censured for deeming CARICOM leaders as gangsters. He forget hypocrites. I call him hypocrites too. Right? And he's a hypocrite. He's a all you style and a hypocrite. And here why Ramsammy is a hypocrite. Ramsammy saying I should apologize or resign from in the ring or be censured from in the ring for deeming CARICOM leaders gangsters. Right? And on the 16th day of June, couple days ago, Ramsammy was wailing into the chairman of CARICOM. Here's Ramsammy said about Keith Rowley. This jagabat, this gangster, this all you style, right? This bitch, Ramsammy. Here Ramsammy said, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, this is on the Sputnik VSU, is out of line and reckless too, right? So he could call the chairman of CARICOM reckless and out of line. No, but Duncan can't say they're gangsters. I must be censured. Huh? All you style Ramsammy. Right? He's one of them going to end up at liking to. Watch and see. I don't know why they're frightened. I don't know why they're frightened liking it. Or somebody they want to get dead contract to. Somebody they want to give dead contract to. Now, not a story. Talking about the dead. From one dead to the next. Right? Because Ramsammy done dead, but he's ashamed to close the eyes. Since I was a little boy, I hear him with Ramsammy. Right? And Ramsammy old since I was 5. I grew up knowing Ramsammy old. And Ramsammy ain't gone but the business yet. Ramsammy got to be a vampire. Ramsammy got to be a vampire. So he dead already, but he ashamed to close the eye. Now the speaker, former speaker Ralph Ramkaran, who enjoys a lofty salary as advisor on border issue at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Right? And he's from the a new and united Guyana Anug party. Enjoys a lofty salary at the behest of the administration, the installed regime. He's saying that the current speaker, as y'all know, he was speaker at one point. Didn't make much of an impact, but he's still between. Doesn't work out. Now he's advising on borders. He says that Nansur is his prerogative to choose who advises him. It is Mansour's prerogative to choose who advises him. Y'all hear story here? Now, I would think the speaker knows about bias and about shunning the appearance of bias. Right? Because there's a seminal principle in law that justice must only not be done, it must appear to be done. So when you're getting advice from your comrade, your party colleague, your friends, and so forth, the appearance to the public is that there is bias. But no, this is the one that ashamed to close the eye. He said it's the speaker's prerogative to choose who advises him. And of course, this is on the no confidence motions that were brought against the Minister of Health, the installed Minister of Home Affairs, Robson Ben, and the installed Minister of Health, Frank Anthony. And then there's that no confidence motion that was brought against the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Joseph Harmon, right? So he's the next one. He shamed to close the eye to. That is why they're fighting down Merriman. Because they think if they stall Merriman, somehow they could prolong the life. Somehow they could prolong the life. But let me see. Let me see, people. Talking about no confidence motions. Talking about no confidence motions, folks. The councillors at Rose Hall Town Municipality, they're having it. The councillors are not having it. They're not having it. So they are saying that the mayor, one Dave Boudou, and the deputy mayor, one Roy Del Lewis, they got to go. And they have outlined some damning things here in this no confidence motion. Some very, very damning things. Right? I will just go through a couple. This is the year of no confidence motions, people. Motions, everywhere you go. Everywhere you turn is a no confidence motion coming. What have you done, Judas? What have you done? So I'll go through a couple of the points very quickly in this no confidence motion that is being brought against the mayor and deputy mayor of Rose Hall Town. Now, this is a PPP-dominated council, as far as I know. Right? They have the majority, almost twice the amount of councillors to Apnu AFC. So here are some of the reasons why these councillors are moving a motion of no confidence against the mayor and deputy mayor of the municipality of Rose Hall. Right? They says that they have been usurping the duties of the town clerk. Usurping the duties of the town clerk. The town clerk is the liaison officer and foreman of the council's community infrastructure project, the SIP, and workers of the town. The mayor always goes into the field and harass the team leader and workers. The mayor always embarrasses, humiliates, and belittles councillors, even when advice and suggestions are put forward at meetings. The mayor prevents councillors from speaking at meetings and cut them short when they ask questions. Right? Namely, Ramnot, Shio Noreen, Hope, Arthur Fraser, Chisholm, and another councillor is named here. I think the name is Shri Kristen. They charge that the mayor has a dictatorial attitude and attempts to personally control everything on the council. But this bit here at number 4 got me. Subvention projects. At a special meeting held on July 9th, a couple days ago, to discuss projects that were submitted to be done for the year, the mayor summoned a special meeting with an agenda of work projects to be undertaken with half-part subvention. When questioned, he said it was himself and the deputy mayor, right? Himself and the deputy mayor alone who sat and made those decisions as to how those monies were going to be spent, excluding 14 other councillors. Excluding 14 other councillors. So you understand what the people mean when they say that they have been usurping the functions of the council, and they go on. So PPP councillors bringing a motion against PPP deputy and mayor of Rose Hall Town, and I'm certain you have perhaps a couple of AFC councillors in there as well. So we're gonna continue to follow what is happening there, ladies and gentlemen. Signs of the times. That is a sign of the times, folks. This little bit here, I know y'all didn't know this one. Folks, get out your popcorn and your cooks. Let me get my own. Let me get my popcorn and my cokes, people. Popcorn and cokes time. You're gonna need your popcorn and your cokes for this one. Really cool. Like somebody thief a popcorn, I'm a coke. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. And let me take a sip. We can eat it. Here's story here. Signs of the times. Y'all know Guyana packaging its own condom now? I kid you not. Guyana is packaging its own condom. Yep. Guyana is packaging its own condom. Yes. Things tight. People are got for suit y'all. Y'all got package y'all own condom now. The folks, please share the live stream. I beg y'all. Share the live stream. The world got to know Guyana, things hard. No pun intended. Things hard and things tight. We are packaging our own condoms now. Right? We said people don't got things to suit us. So the name of this condom is AA protection. Right? I don't know if that is recovering sexaholics or what, because I know they got AA for Alcoholics Anonymous. Right? I don't know if this is for recovering sex addicts or what have you. Right? What have you? But the name of this condom is AA protection, AA protection, AA protection. And I want to give you some of what they've said in the launch. Mind you, these guys smart. Here they had the launch. Here they had the launch for AA condoms. Right? Y'all got to send me some money for the advertising. Here they had the launch for AA condoms. Things hard in this country, I tell y'all that. We making we own condoms now. Things hard. Things hard. We making we own condoms. So AA had the launching at Sleeping Hotel. I don't know whether they had some practical displays of usage or what have you. Right? Somebody said the AA is for Anil and Ali. I think the allies pass hard. That's the problem. I think the allies pass hard. Things hard in this country. We making our own condoms now. So they had the launching at Sleep In. I cannot say whether they were practical demonstrations or what. How this package was unwrapped, I don't know. But the report says that the launch was at Sleep In. Right? A simple ceremony. Some people like it simple. Some people like a lot of excitements, lash against wall, like some lashing all that. But they had a simple ceremony. Right? Things hard. And here what? This is truly when you hear what comprises Valerie Archibald, Precious Mineral, Yasmin Henry, Vijay Singh. When y'all hear what is in this package, y'all know this is Guyanese. Y'all know this don't come from nobody else. Here was in this package with this condom. There's a box of it's a box comprising of 3 lubricated latex condoms. 3. 1 wipe. And 1 lubricant. The people know y'all dirty and nasty. So they include a wipe in this package. Right? So you ain't got to get them and go to the washroom. They include a wipe. How thoughtful. Things hard. How thoughtful are these people? They've included 1 wipe, 1 lubricant, and a disposable pack. Yep. They are dirty, stink, and nasty. So the people have to put in a wipe for you because they know if they include a wipe, some of y'all are wiping. Some of y'all are wiping. And people know to toilet paper gets so expensive now, right? That y'all aren't concerned with that. So they want to make sure that y'all are okay. And here what they say about this condom. It is designed to explore healthier sexual behavior. They know y'all nasty. And recognize non-discrimination of sexual orientation. They know y'all dirty. In the expression and demonstration of love in modern day Guyana. They know y'all home. with the COVID, are you idle? So they make this with you all in mind, right? Designed to explore healthier sexual behavior and recognize non-discrimination of sexual orientation in the expression and demonstration of love in modern day Guyana. They go on to say the product will also enhance sexual practice between consenting adults, but moreover, serve to endorse Millennium Project Goal 6, the Gan tilted UN now, in combating HIV and AIDS, and the Millennium Development Goal 3 to promote gender equality and women empowerment. And this Condom doing a lot of things, people. It's multi-purpose, right? It is multi-purpose. But they said the person who is behind this thing, his only name was given as Miguel. Now, I hope it's not the conman Miguel. I think it is. I hope it's not the conman Miguel that I think it is, behind double A, Ali and Anil. Protection. Well, you know, yeah, love, if y'all depending on that kind of protection, y'all can get pregnant. Y'all can get pregnant and STDs. If it's Ali and Anil protection, y'all dependent. Y'all get pregnant. Talking about, just before our guest comes on, talking about scamps. Talking about scams, ladies and gentlemen. Bogus businessman. Now, they said this is the third time in a very short period of time he's before the court for fraud. It is the third time he is before the courts for fraud. And his name is, let me get it right, it is Micah Sunaram. You got a biblical name. Micah is a biblical name. Sunaram. Right? And while I have no remorse for whatever is the law facing Micah, right? This person that Micah trip up and scam and fraud surprised me. Because listen to this. Micah lives at Frying Fish Street, Festival City, North Triangle. It is alleged on November 3rd at North Road, he gave Johan C. Smith $1 million as an order for a bobcat purchase. He wanted to purchase a bobcat. The man torn up with the bobcat. Micah and torn up with the bobcat. Right? You know what Johansi did? On November 13th, Johansi gave him more money. Johansi gave him $35,000 to purchase an electronically controlled joystick. Yeah. And you know what? Mike can turn up with the joystick. What happens next? On November 20th, Johansson give you more money. He give you another $1 million, right? In which to order a 2010 series excavator. Well, now Mike is before the court. A young scamp. The PPP trading you well. A young scamp. And folks, finally, before my guest comes on, I think it's finally, before my guest comes on, the police saying that there are not enough cops in Georgetown. That is what the police force saying. We don't have enough patrols in Georgetown. They admitted this, right? Commander of Region 4A Division Assistant Commissioner Simon Bean, he said, indeed, he spoke to the media, there are not enough police ranks manning the streets in the city, right? And you know what they're doing to combat this? They're starting regional security teams in the 10 regions. That's what the government fighting this. Mark Bean said we don't have enough patrols in the city. I don't know what the patrols doing, but Mark Bean says we do not have enough patrols in the city. According to Mark Bean, he went on to say this. Mark Bean went on to say, for Georgetown being our main city, yes, I agree with you. There are not enough police. But what Mark Bean says next is startling, folks. What Mark Bean says next is very, very startling. Here Mark Bean said, right? We realize that for us to take the fear of crime out of people, we have to have more presence. Right? We have to have more presence. Mark Bean says that one of the chief things people thief in town or rob or snatch is cell phones. He said you might have an average cell phone ranging between $50 and $200,000. Where Mark been getting phone for $50 from? Huh? Where Mark been getting phone for $50 from? But that is not what he said. That was incredible. Right? He was asked whether some of the people doing some of this thieving and so on are policemen. And he said yes. Mark Bean said yes. And I'm looking for the section in my notes. It is highlighted, but so many things are highlighted on the paper. I am having so much trouble finding it. Right? Yes. He says, according to the report, following several reports from individuals about police being implicated in some of these robberies in the city and criminal activities, the commander says there are some truths about this. So McBean says there are police robbing people in the city. So now when you see a police coming to you in the city, you don't know if they're a thief or what. I would say go with the first thing. Because you don't know, McBean says that there are police involved in robbing people in the city. This is pocketory, people. This is pocketory. He said they're police. And I'm quoting the Ghana Times here. I know they're always accurate with their reporting. He said, yes, there is some truth to this. Right? Under the PPP. And very quickly, COVID-19 is with us, folks. You know what is our admonition and our encouragement every night? Just this evening, 3 more COVID deaths. 3 more COVID deaths. And with that, I want to welcome Attorney at Law, Mr. Darren Wade, to the program this evening. And y'all know Darren eating up them cases in the courts these days. My brother must have something for you, boy. Welcome, Attorney at Law Wade.
Oh, thank you for having me, Sharon. Let me say good night to you and to your viewers.
Awesome. Darren, we know that you're working very, very hard and you're a bright chap. I know if I'm setting you up too much there. But recently, we have heard a lot about landlords and tenants and the way things go so terribly wrong with this relationship. And just recently, we saw the relative of a landlord allegedly, fatally wound a tenant. And that has been in all the papers. It has been the talk of the tongue, and we're still going through some fact finding where that is concerned. But outside of that, Attorney at Law Wade, I want you to tell us what legislation, let us start there, governs the landlord and tenant relationship, and let's move on from there.
Well, Sharon, thank you for your question. In Guyana, in relation to the landlord and tenant relations, you have the Rent Restriction Act, and you also have common law, which is basically law that were developed that govern the way a landlord and tenants, the relationship between landlord and tenant. Those are the primary areas of law. I trust I answer your question. But what governs the relationship?
Fantastic. And so that is the context of our discussion. Now, from that, Attorney at Law Wade, could you tell us, for instance, because lots of people, you rent a house, you need a place to stay, they give you a contract, you sign up, you don't necessarily always read it, you don't necessarily always know your rights. So on both sides of this contractual relationships, tell us what are the rights of the tenants and perhaps what are the rights of the landlords as well.
Well, what one must understand, whenever you lease or you let a premises, for that point in time, the premises becomes the tenant premises, subject to the landlord's right to enter, for do repairs and so on. But for the law, that aspect of what the lease property belongs to the tenant for that period of time. Certainly, as a tenant, you're expected to use the premises reasonably. You're not expected to do drugs at the premises, to prostitution. You're not expected to do that. You're not expected to be breaking up the walls, breaking up the furnishings, the fitting, and so on. So you must use the premises reasonably. And as a landlord now, you must let the tenant has a peaceful enjoyment of the premises, which means you cannot disturb them. You cannot paint the place black. You cannot take off the lights. You cannot take off the water. You and so forth. So you must ensure that the tenants have a peaceful enjoyment of the premises. And if you breach that peaceful enjoyment of the premises, there could be criminal proceedings that could come against you, in addition to civil proceedings.
Attorney Lawin, I'm happy that you spoke about peaceful enjoyment, because I was coming there because often you got landlords think that they could just come sometimes in the apartment or in the house with a second copy of the key. They can just come a Sunday morning, you home trying to rest, and just start weeding or just start hammering something next door, or to carry on in that manner. So I'd be happy if there's anything more that you can share with us on that very notion of that peaceful enjoyment that you're entitled to as a tenant.
Yeah, sure. As I would have said to you in relation to peaceful enjoyment, you should not do anything that will infringe or impinge on the person that is let, the person enjoyment, the right to use the premises. So anything that impedes someone's right to use the premises and so forth in a way in which you let it, that for me is unlawful.
Yeah. And on the other side,
need to resist from that.
Very well. And on the other side of this relationship, what are some of the rights that are enjoyed by the landlords?
Well, I said certainly it is a contractual right. If the tenant there is not and so forth, then certainly that is a breach. The landlord can give him a notice to quit. And the notice to quit is dependent upon what type of contract there is. For instance, if it's a weekly contract or a weekly tenancy, then you will need to give a week's notice for the person to move out. If it's a monthly tenancy, you will need to give a month's notice. I believe the tenancy is 6 months that is required for a year for yearly tenancy. And that you will have to send a notice. Sure, are you with me still?
Yeah. Yes, I'm still here. And fantastic point. Let's say you send a notice, and I know all contracts are different, and the person does not comply with the notice to quit, right? And now we're in that area where we're talking about there's now a breakdown in the relationship between the landlord and tenant. What ideally should be happening at this point?
You're saying that if you fail to pay to adhere to the notice to quit?
Yes.
And we are assuming that's a proper notice to quit.
Yeah.
The notice to quit is legal, it follows the law and so forth.
Generally,
well, if you fail to come out the period, yes, you see, there you go, right? You must give notice to quit. If there, let us say that it's lawful, your other option is to go to the court. It's not for you to confront the person to move out the premises. You can't do that. That's not, you have to go to the court. And the court is going to look at the case. And if you comply with the proceedings, you comply with the law, then the court will order them to remove from the premises.
Fantastic. What else, if anything else, should be governing this period if there's a breakdown in the relationship between landlord and tenant? There's a notice to quit, rent hasn't been paid, or something of that nature, but there's a general breakdown in the relationship. Is there anything else that both landlord and tenant might have a recourse to?
But it depends upon what is the issue. Because if there's a breakdown in landlord and tenant relationship, you're saying that there's no relations still in existence. Because the person is still in the premises and so forth, I don't necessarily understand the question. Because if the person still in the premises, they're paying, even if they're paying rent, until they go make a pronouncement. Then to me, there's still some sort of relationship subsisting. So if whatever dispute between your landlord and tenant, I believe is the court at the end of the day has a jurisdiction to deal with those issues. If the tenant is not adhering, if the landlord is doing things that are wrong, then you go to the police. Then the tenant can go to the police and make a report.
Excellent. And just before I let you go, Attorney at Law Wade, there's a question being asked by one of our viewers. What about the tenants moving out and leaving your premises unprotected, plus cutting up your PVC pipes?
Well, if there's a criminal offense of damage to property, if the tenant is going to leave the property and they're going to damage your property, that's a criminal offense. Damage to property is one issue, and certainly you could always take them to court for damages. If you could show and you could prove that person damaged your property, then certainly you could go to the court to redress. Generally, with landlords and tenants relationship, it's a court that has the ultimate say whenever there's an issue that may arise.
Fantastic. And let me be disgusting and stick in another question from one of the viewers. If there's a notice,
we could have a few minutes more if you have more questions to go. So I mean, I will not rush. I'm not gonna rush to come off. If you
thanks very much. If there's a notice, should the tenant still be paying?
Yes.
Notice to quit.
Yes. I believe there's a misperception, Sharon, because that's an issue a lot in the courts, whereby sometimes they're sitting and someone believes, oh, once you get a notice, you have to stop paying. Once you're occupying the premises, you must pay. You have an obligation to pay. So, for example, if there's an issue whereby you have a 6 months contract and the tenancy should end and you continue to occupy, you must pay for the period because you held over. And let me say this: if you stop paying rent after a year, you become at some point and you stop paying, you become in adverse possession. And after 12 years, that open a way for you to get the property.
Wow.
For the tenant to get the property, if you open.
Attorney at Law Wade, I can see some people saying, I ain't paying rent for the next 12 years. This guy needs to be dealing with,
But there's cases where that transpired, persons who are paying rent and they stop paying rent. The landlord died or something happened, or they just stopped paying rent. And there was no objection by the landlord. You're not paying rent and so on, not sending them letters and so on, and they end up selling the property. 12 years, technically, the right would have been crystallized.
Yeah, adverse possession. Another viewer asking, what if there's no verbal agreement that seals the deal in that landlord and tenant relationship?
That question, quite frankly, I can't make sense of that question.
But verbal agreement. Let me put it.
Is there a written agreement?
Yes, let me put it another way. So your landlord says you owe rent, but you never entered into a written contract. There was a verbal contract or a verbal arrangement, but it was never.
A contract doesn't need. But you don't need a contract to be written in order for it to be valid. A contract will be both written and we have a verbal agreement or oral agreement. You can have such an agreement. Once there's once there is a period, once there is some money, and so once there's a fixed period of money involved, I believe those are what is essential.
Yeah. Somebody's actually asking, how do I know my tenancy agreement?
Because you want a point put you to live in the property. So that is, they have a fixed place, there's a fixed period, and there's money involved. So certainly you have a landlord and tenant relationship.
Attorney at Law Wade, are there terms of an agreement of this nature that the court or the law imposes? So they might not be written down, but the law imposes these terms on that kind of relationship.
Well, as we would have mentioned before, one of the main terms in this relationship is the peaceful enjoyment. That is the main. That's the main one. And so peaceful enjoyment, and that you use the premises and so on in a reasonable manner. I believe those are the main ones. So landlord is not expected, as I would have mentioned, to infringe with your right and your usage of the property.
Excellent. I'm looking to see if we have any more questions here, but That being said, Attorney at Law, is there anything else that we should know? In this relationship, you have a landlord, you have a tenant, that you might want to advise both parties in terms of having a good relationship, besides, inclusive of your rent on time.
Other than your rent, I believe that the tenant should not do anything that to destroy or to destruct the demise premises. That's the premises that is let by the landlord. They should use it fairly. They should use it for the purpose of what it was let for. You shouldn't be renting a person property for residential use, and then you're doing business, you're getting big dance hall and all kind of thing, in the people premises. That wouldn't be right. And the landlord, as I continue to stress, should not, as I said, some landlord paint the house black, Sherrod. Some landlords go and they turn off the pipe. They go and they take off the current. They take off the window. Those are things that they should not do, because those things are unlawful. You shouldn't go banging at the person's door. You shouldn't go banging at the person's door and these things, playing music and all these things to, that to disturb the rest, because you want to put them out. Those things are unlawful.
One viewer here, yeah. One viewer here saying, my landlord told me to stop paying him and to look for a place. Now he wants me to pay to move out, and I don't have a place as yet. What do you think I should do?
So there's free consultation. The person paying. So they're asking the question, asking the landlord, ask them to move.
And they stop paying rent and move. Yeah, and then the landlord wants them to pay the rent and move.
So contract law. If you and the landlord had an agreement that that we're not going to take any payment, but I'm going to move out. For me, that to me that's a valid arrangement. So why would the landlord now be demanding rent when you're on a quote unquote an agreement? Once you agreed, the landlord said, okay, move out. I say, okay, I'm going to move. Yes, and you're not going to pay me rent. I see that more or less as valid. So I don't think the landlord could quote unquote demand rent when he would have forego it, and then she would have agreed to move out. Because I'm saying that if that is the agreement, let us say contract law. Let us say that the tenancy was like for 3 years or whatever. She said, I'm going to move out. That's where she go. Okay, I'm going to move out. Give up the premises. That's where she foregoing. And the landlord now say, don't give me the rent. He's foregoing that. So I see consideration on both parts. That's how I see it.
So I think you may have answered this, but I'm going to put it to you nonetheless. What about using the property to rear chicken and pigs?
Well, that's a tough one, because if is there any restrictions? If there are restrictions, I know some landlord may have some sort of restrictions.
Yeah, don't bring pets. No pets.
No, there's yes. And yes, but I will believe if you're letting a premises in Bobby's, in West Coast Bobby's, where I'm from, then I will believe that to rear chicken in that kind of locality will be normal. I wouldn't see any issue with that. But if you're in Georgetown, then you would expect not to have chickens. That's my understanding. I believe that those are things all the court may want to look at it, based upon the environment and the locality.
One of the viewers saying, Attorney at Law, that while even landlords can go to court to evict a tenant, tenants can also go to court to ask for time to move. True or false?
False. False. You can't go to court and ask for them to move. But what I believe, right? There she say, the person is saying, is that when they go to court, right? When they go to ask for time, like in that manner, but it's not to institute legal proceedings for extension. That's how I've seen it. If because the landlord demand for you to move, I know generally because you must have some, when you go to the court, there must be some right or something you're trying to you're trying to protect. So if you have no if you have no right, the landlord doesn't do anything unlawful to you, the landlord give you some notice quick, that's totally perfect. Yes, the proceeding may be instituted, but the court does normally balance that right. But I haven't heard of anyone instituting proceedings for extension of time to stay in the premises.
This is where
I may be wrong. Let me say this. I may be wrong. I may be wrong on something I may need to look into, but I'm unaware of that. But it's a practice before the courts. The way the magistrates are reasonable, you go, the boy want to move out in a month. You say, no, madam, I can't make it in 1 month. Give me 2 months now. Give me 3 months. They go, all right. The landlord wants you to move out in a month. You want 3 months. I'm gonna give you 2 months to move out. The courts generally try to balance it.
okay, excellent, excellent. Attorney Atlaway, I don't want to keep you back. I know you have a busy schedule, but I want to thank you for stopping by and again guiding us through these issues, because I think it's important that we not just engage these sensational news headlines, but even in such an environment that we learn what the right thing is.
But I believe it is critical, Sherrod, to edify our people. You know, I believe our people and people who follow us, our persons, are smart, and even and where they may be lack of knowledge, we have an ability to feed them and to ensure. And because there's certain things that I don't know, and and I would like people to come on a program like this so I could be better informed in some certain issues. I don't want to join the intellectually lazy passy. And sometimes you have those folks that people say things, people say things and you run with it,
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to do critical analysis. Only today I was in a discussion concerning the because, quote unquote, because we care grant.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They say it was $10,000 and Apple took it away and so on. But the first place, I believe there was a cabinet document that says that it was a one-time grant. I could be corrected. However, let us say it was forever. It was something that should have been continued. I remember when I went to school, I was going to school. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Sometimes it was difficult to get bus fare.
Mm-hmm.
I think the average cost right now to go to school is like $5,000 a month. I will say it takes for transportation fare, and that may be very conservative.
Very, very conservative.
When you look and you see the implementation of the David G bus, where students could go to school, and when you do that multiplication, you see, our people must be guided. I am grateful. I believe it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
I believe it could be more, because now you have the oil revenue come in. There's more money to spend. So I believe you could give your people more than the $15,000. That's my view. More could be done.
Mm-hmm.
When you look and you see, Sharon,
yes, here,
amount of within 3 months, that money done, that 15,000 done.
Correct.
But you throw up thing. When you throw up thing, the 15,000, and when you look what was the value, when you look at the value, matter of fact, $15,000 or $10,000 a year ago is not the same value today because of the inflation.
Definitely.
So when you look, so you see, nobody's doing a critical analysis. What can be done with the $15,000?
Yeah.
What is the value of $15,000? But these people take us for fools. They take us for fools. So as I would have mentioned before, these programs are critical for us to explain to our people and to understand the tricks and the foolishness with number games. What can you do with that money? Yes, it's better than nothing. But when you look at what was happening under the David Granger administration and what implementation, the expansion of the food in school, the hot meals that were going to the schools, and not only schools in the interior and so forth, on the coastline as well. They start getting lunch. Right where I am on Atfield Street, the school next door, the children were getting lunch, and was the students were getting lunch. So correct. When Priya want to come on and say these things, you need to examine our statement. Most of these things are very myopic, very short-sighted. And when you do a critical analysis of it, then you could see what is transpiring. But our people are wise, our people are not fools, and they understand and they know what is going on.
Fantastic. Fantastic, attorney at law. Wade. And we're going to leave it there for this evening. Again, attorney at law. Thanks very much, Darren Wade, for stopping by and again guiding us through some of these issues that concerns the relationship between tenants and landlords. Thanks very much, sir.
Thank you, Sharon, and thanks, Afin. You have a blessed night and a good night to your viewers. I trust I was helpful. Thanks.
More than helpful. Most helpful. Thanks very much, sir. Folks, and there you have it. Attorney at law Darren Wade so graciously helping to guide you on these many issues. For us here, we want you guys to leave with something positive. We want to leave with something of value when you spend this hour or so with us in the evenings. And so we do not take your presence here for granted. And we keep saying that all the time. We do not take it for granted. And that's why we work very hard to ensure that the information that you have is as accurate as could be. It is credible, it is balanced, it is fair, and all of that. Folks, I think I have a couple minutes to take a couple calls. It is Talkback Thursday, and I'd love to hear from a couple of you. The number is 627-6963. I can take a couple calls before we go this evening. I'd love to hear from some of you. Again, 627-6963. Don't hog the time. We want to get a couple calls in, if any calls at all, and definitely get to going. So it will be my privilege to hear from a couple of you again. Guys, wherever you're joining us from, at home here in Ghana or in the diaspora. And again, big thank you to Attorney at Law Wade. Again, we don't only want to deal with the sensational issues out there, but what is in that issue that we can learn from as folks. And I know so many of persons across this country are in that landlord and tenancy arrangement, and you're in hell in lots of instances. And sometimes the landlord don't know their rights, or they don't know the rights of the tenants. And so you have very bright people like Attorney at Law Darren Wade, who excels in this and other aspects of law, who are there to guide us. And I'm very, very happy for that. So if you guys want to call for a couple of seconds, 627-6963 is the number, 627-6963. I'll be happy to take a couple of calls before we get to program time, folks. A couple of calls before we get to program time. And that being said, guys, I'm going to advise you while I wait and hope somebody comes through. If not, you social distance, you continue to sanitize, you continue to wear your mask, even if you are vaccinated. You are still advised to wear your mask and to practice all of the COVID-19 protocols that are there for your health and for your safety, those of your friends, that of your friends and your loved ones, folks. And that being said, I think I am a very good evening. Welcome in the ring, sir.
Yes, good evening, sir. Well, we hear nothing about Anel Nanaval and this story this was.
Great. I'm happy that you raised that. I'm gonna endeavor to give an update tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Excellent. Thanks for coming through. I'm gonna endeavor to give an update tomorrow. Thanks, sir. All right. Did you guys hear that? The guys asking about an update on the Anil Nandalal issue being investigated in the US by the NYPD of that alleged assault or something of that nature. And I'm going to give you an update on that tomorrow. Guys, as you are here, we encourage you guys to share the live stream. Those of you who are coming back to view the program later on, share the live stream as well. Sanitize, social distance, wear your mask, folks, and be kind to each other out there. And be safe. I think I have another call. Hello, very good evening.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to know. Well, I'm here to fight with you because you always pick up a fight.
Go ahead. Throw your punches.
I want to know the lawlessness that is happening in Guyana in the political arena. It's very disgraceful. And with their counterpart like Sun and even Z come to an extent in the diaspora. When is it gonna be that you guys gonna start canvassing for action to be taken, because words aren't doing anything?
Yeah.
So we need action. Speaking about action, you can take it to different levels. One action which is necessary right now is the opposition party is supposed to be thinking about go on demonstration and picketing in front of the parliament building or something on this pipeline story. That is
I
something
hear
that's
you.
detrimental for the country.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, my brother. And we have started that exercise every Wednesday. We started this week. We are going to be on the Square of the Revolution or elsewhere. We're going to let you guys know between 12 and 1. Yeah.
Say no to the pipeline and let it be clear so it can be pictured and advertised to the world.
I hear you, my brother. I hear you.
The Chinese people don't want this pipeline and this scam they're having and this green energy and blue energy and all of that. It's a scam.
I hear you, sir. I hear you. Thank you.
The next point I want to make.
Right ahead.
Besides this pipeline thing, is that anyway, Christopher was with you on one of the program, MP Christopher, and he borrowed your catchphrase. Tell him to have his own catchphrase. He borrowed it for you.
That's okay. That's okay, my brother. That's okay. I can tell you though.
I saw just for him to use words like parasite and all of that.
I hear you, my brother. I hear you.
You gotta call it what it is.
It's all in jest.
You gotta call it what it is.
That's right.
Anyway, I'm in Florida, and a lot of time I try to call you, I don't get through, but I'm happy when I get through with you.
And I'm happy too.
We have to do something. You guys gotta promote people's minds, and if they gotta take a page from the playbook, like what happened in Haiti and whatever it is, we gotta do something. We gotta do something. All right?
Yeah. I hear you, my brother. I hear you. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks for coming through. So the folks in Haiti, they are standing up for their rights. They are protesting, making their voice heard. And that's the encouragement that our brothers giving us here. We have to stand up for our rights as well and exercise our constitutional right to protest. And so I'm happy that he came through there from Florida, guys. Happy that we had our brother join us there. Again, we don't only want to talk and to sensationalize, but we must learn. And that's important. That's very important for me. That's very important for us, that when you come here night after night, that you get something of value from our program. Thanks for joining us, each and every one of you. And do stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Stay safe. Oh, my God. Yes, sir. Final call for the evening. Go right ahead.
Hi, Sherry. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good evening, sir. Go right ahead. Welcome.
Yeah, I believe I'm out doing a little walk right now, so it might be a little noisy. Can you hear me properly?
I'm hearing you clearly.
Yeah, I believe Attorney Wade is spot on, man, when he talk about doing a critical analysis. You know, $10,000 can equate for, you know, the transportation for school, the breakfast, and all these things that the kids was being provided under Gringer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, man, we just need, as Guyanese, we just need to sit down and quit being mentally lazy, like you said, you know, and able to analyze these things critically.
Fantastic. I agree with you. And Attorney at Law Wade. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
All right, sir. Great. Let me come off quick before somebody else call. Stay safe, guys. I'm gone now. We gone. Thanks for coming through all.